Hi, class. Talking about your chapters this week. Looks like we're looking a little bit at money, banking, and some monetary policy, domestic and international. So those are really two good subjects this week because, internationally, everybody's suffering. We're trying to figure out our supply chain to make sure it gets, we have product that gets somewhere, and then we also get products so we don't run out. Guess toilet paper is on another run, so just, food for thought there if you need to get some for Thanksgiving. Anyway, I have a little story on money and banking. When I went to WSU, I had a really, I'll say he's a nice looking teacher. He looked like Burt Reynolds. He would smile. He was so nice, and he was so tough. He actually had written the textbook. So when he gave his exams, of course, he knew every little nook and cranny in the wording, and so man, he was so tough. But it's such a good subject. I remember things from then. So he was a good teacher. He was just didn't really care for that kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, money and banking. So how do we know these? Who sets these policies? Well, government's going to set some policies because we can't have banks going helter-skelter like we did in the 2008 when the housing industry went bust because so many people had loans they couldn't pay. So yes, the feds have to put laws out there because companies take advantage of people. It's always happened this way, unfortunately. Any way to get a dollar, and that time during the housing market, it was a fast dollar. So other things that the government will do, they protect consumers, and that's a good thing, but they put things out there so companies will be protected as well. Now, right now, going on in our economy, we have low interest rates. The Fed sets those interest rates, and, it's like, that's great because now we can buy houses because the interest rate is low. And we can buy cars or, whatever would be maybe a high ticket item that has interest attached to it. Also, that would encourage businesses to do more development maybe, or, invest in more inventory, that kind of thing, because interest rates are low. Now, during the pandemic, I have seen that people are still spending. I'm surprised, particularly with the car market. What I have found in the car market, particularly with low interest, and then some of the companies have where you get 3 months free or 3 months, you can wait for a payment. A lot of people are buying new because they don't want to use car because they are being careful about the COVID virus in a car, which I found very fascinating. Never would have thought about that. So not only are regular cars being sold new, but many people are buying high-end cars that they had never done that before, and they're driving themselves because, particularly on the East and West Coast, if you take mass transportation, a lot of people don't want to do that anymore, or Ubers, things like that. They're being that level of they're careful. So I found that interesting, and those kinds of things the government does set. And the problem is like right now on housing, as we know, or maybe you don't, but with low interest rates, then everybody wants to buy a house. Well, there's just not that much available. You see a house go up on the market, there's multiple offers for it, and it's really whoever can bid the most. It's been that way probably for a couple years now, but it's really bad now because there isn't enough housing to meet the demand of the lower interest rates. So that is set by our feds, and they're the ones that are making these decisions. And right now, probably low interest is a good thing. Now, at some point, this could lead to inflation. And we have probably a little bit of inflation right now, which is fine. But inflation, as I showed you on the debt clock, when our debt is rising, it can cause more inflation. And so another thing we really have to be careful about with the elections, making sure that we do not become dependent on oil from somebody else. So that, to me, would be definitely an international or global policy that we would have to look at. Now, in our domestic and international monetary policies, we will have to look to see what's going on once the presidency changes hands, because we might be getting into some other deals that President Trump had got us out of. Obviously, that's going to take money. That's going to come from us. So, are we willing to let our taxes raise for these things? Just food for thought. You guys are getting ready to start a career. Maybe you're in a career right now and going to school, but these are things you need to think about when you go to the polls, when you go and vote, and just keep kind of an eye out for every once in a while. Most likely, you're going to have 401ks at some point, and you want the stock market to do well because that's how you're going to make your money. That's what they invest in. So anyway, so the Fed is very important, or the government, the Fed, are very important in setting these rules and parameters, so people don't take advantage of us like they did in the housing disaster in 2008. So we might not like government, but I'm glad they're watching out for us in these kinds of things because that's a really hurtful thing and a harmful thing when things get out of hand and people are losing their houses. So anyway, that's our food for thought for this week, and looks like we're just about getting done. So just to let you know right now, our final will be similar to the midterm, 100 questions, a 30-point essay. So the 30-point essay, easy. Just give me a paragraph to begin it, tell me what you're talking about, and then end it. This should be an easy 30 points of, there are a lot of easy assignments. This is an easy one. So have a good week, and I will talk to you later.